I think it's so. Just... That's not the right number, you know. Nothing else. Alright, I'll refresh here. Oh boy. Right. Okay. We are live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kind? I think we're just getting started. I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to episode 793 of the Overseas Connection podcast. Coming to you a little bit late. Apologies. My computer did not want to cooperate with me today. That's all I will say to that. It's July 14th, 2024, and we got a lot to say today. We are a video game podcast by our nature. We do this every Sunday, 9 p.m., well, 8 p.m. actually in the UK. 12 p.m. on the West Coast, 2 p.m. in the Central Time Zone. There you go, Kim. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
3 p.m. East Coast, and if you live somewhere else, well, figure it out. We are on YouTube. We are on Twitch, so do that social media. Bang that subscribe button. Like us, subscribe, all that good stuff. We also have a Discord channel. It is, the future. Something like that. We'll have a link to that in the show notes. For those of you that catch the audio version, if you're watching this live, well, just hang out. Come hang out. Be with us. My name, Greg DeLacy, gamertag Murphy's Law, OC_Murphy's Law on Twitter. Yes, I said Twitter. Joining me today, it's an appropriate duo. Two of the most American people I know. Kim Woods. Kim, how are you doing?
I'm good. It's a little warm here. We're actually under a heat advisory, so if I melt midstream, you'll know why.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. That's me. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Welcome to the show, Kim. Thank you for being here. And also on the show today, Robin Tate. Robin, how is your indoctrination into the United States going?
We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I had some people here yesterday, and they were taking a girl away. And they just got me talking about they're going to the States, on to Washington. And we were talking about bits and pieces and saying, you sound more American than me. So, yeah, of course he is American. He thinks he's American. He wants to be American. So, there you go.
I mean, little did they know you're technically Irish-Mexican, right?
Yeah, I'm in Ballymena, Northern Ireland. It's very good to be here. And thank you, Greg, for hosting tonight. And it's wonderful. I'm sorry you lost all your legs.
I'm telling you. This whole computer just was messing with me beyond belief. Apparently, I'm still messing with the screen now. I'm all over the place. So I'm watching the main screen on our feed from OBS, and I was trying to resize my Skype window, and it was blowing up and doing crazy things, and so I put it back to normal.
Yeah, that was
anyway.
Good. Hey, Greg.
It's good to be here.
It's good. The legs behind you. I mean, you've been attacking legs, bed legs, feet legs.
Yeah. So the legs are part of the chairs that are now sitting, waiting to be sold. We're attempting to sell those off. So, my office is always a temporary storage, worst case scenario, and that's what it's become.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
So I actually have a coffee table. I've got 2 end tables. There's a lamp. Do you need anything else? I might be able to fish that out and put it in here in storage as well. So.
Well, don't worry. I'll get them on Facebook and I'll comment as usual.
I appreciate that. All the comments are welcome. I get flack from some other friends. Also, they were giving me grief over some of the things I was listening. I was like, you know what? Fuck you all. I hate you all.
I might have to get in on that one.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
Anyway,
don't. No, local pickup only, Kim. Sorry.
All right.
All right. What are we doing here? Let's just dive into.
I don't know, what are we
There's no birthdays. My wife's
Nope.
birthday is a week out, so we're just gonna get into story time. Let's go.
Hooray, it's story time. Hooray, it's story time. I'm so glad to be with you today.
So, I mean, it's a pretty boring week. Nothing really happened. Not much to talk about. So, yeah, okay, no. We're just going to get this out of the way up front. We're going to talk
Okay.
about what happened yesterday. So, if you're not familiar, the presidential candidate, former President Donald Trump, there was an assassination attempt on his life. It
I
happened
thought it just fell
live.
down.
I'm sorry?
CNN said he fell over.
It was an interesting kind of moment in time because there was, of course, different stations covering it. It was a live Trump event. I get a phone call from my mom saying Trump just got shot. I wasn't even watching TV at the time. I turn on TV. I'm like, what the hell? So Donald Trump, his ear was grazed by a bullet, or it's either grazed by a bullet. Some people think it might be glass from one of the teleprompters. However, when you look at the video up close, it does not look like the teleprompters shattered at all. So I think it was a bullet, in fact, that did graze his head. Three people, I think, actually were shot behind him. One died. Two are in critical condition. The shooter was subsequently killed by the Secret Service, which, I mean, props to them for shooting him fairly quickly. But oh boy, there's a lot to unpack here. So first and foremost, so thoughts and prayers to those that are in the hospital right now trying to recover from these gunshot wounds. I cannot imagine what their families are going through. It is just, it's unthinkable to me that you would be attending a political rally in support of a candidate and somebody out there would, look to assassinate them. There's just no place for it. There's no place for it in our country. There's no place for it in any country, to be perfectly honest. We know what happens in other countries that are kind of more third world countries. So seeing it happen and unfold real time on TV was just crazy. To Donald Trump's credit, I mean, he went down quickly once he felt the shot basically ripped through his ear. But the Secret Service covered him over. You can actually hear in the audio, I want to say they say the shooters down. We're clear to move. And then they start getting Donald Trump up. And probably one of the most iconic pictures we're going to see in our generation. He's pumping his fist up to basically let the audience know he's alive. And you can see him, and he's mouthing I'm sure he's saying it, but I mean, from a distance, all you see is him mouthing. And I wasn't sure if it was fuck or fight. I'm pretty sure it was fight. But
there's audio of it that you saying fight, hearing him say fight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, but just for that first audio, the first visual, when I first saw it, I'm like, ooh, is he just like fuck? But no, he was saying fight.
I think he was delirious. I mean, he did say, get my shoes, get my shoes.
He did. That was actually one of the funniest things. Get my shoes.
Yeah. And I think that was maybe shock or something like that there.
Probably, yeah.
So absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Whether I don't really upset anybody, but I am anyway a staunch Trump supporter. So like that or don't, that's my choice. It doesn't mean I'm forcing that on everybody or anybody. But you can't go around calling people Hitler and a fascist yesterday, and then today call them Donald and wish them all the very best that they recover. You just can't. It's just dangerous talk, and the danger is all coming from not the side that they say it's coming from.
Well, yeah.
Uh,
So there's a lot
dangerous
to,
rhetoric.
like I said, there's a lot to unpack from all of this. Um, so we'll talk about that fallout for a moment. Kim, were you watching this at all? Did you? I mean, how did you learn
I
about
didn't.
it?
Yeah, I didn't see it till after it already happened. And to be fair, I had to read it like twice to make sure I was reading, what I thought I was reading. So, yeah, I was kind of shocked by it because, that hasn't happened in, a long, long time. So,
I mean, the
Really?
last time it happened was Ronald Reagan in
Right.
in my lifetime, and the interesting thing about Ronald Reagan and what gave me pause for concern over the situation, because it certainly looked like Donald Trump was okay, but when Reagan was shot, they whisked him away very quickly. I mean, he was shot
Right.
literally in front of his vehicle anyway, so it was kind of easy to just throw him into the car and whisk away. And the
Right.
initial reports were it was a minor gunshot wound, but then we later learned he was in a life-saving surgery at the time, and so.
Well, thank goodness he was looking up at the screen, because if he had had his head straight,
I know.
It-
He
it was
just
the-
had turned to the right when the shots rang out, and that probably
well,
saved his life.
unbelievable. So yeah. I mean, again, this is not a political podcast. Forgive us for chatting about this, but we are interested.
It's so topical in the moment. It's hard to, we are a video game podcast, but we talk about life, and this is a life-changing moment. And I say life-changing because, look, if he is assassinated, I'm not all too sure that does not kick off what you could potentially think of as a civil war within this country. This country
Yeah.
is that divided right now, and it just would be potentially the straw that breaks the camel's back. I
It
think
would- it would-
we've been
I don't know
teetering.
about picking up arms, Greg, but there would definitely be you're either red or blue, and that's
Yeah.
and
Um,
there's a split of the country, and people start to live in blue areas and red areas over the next.
And it's
years.
funny that the media wants to downplay their role in all of this. But I mean, as you noted, Robin, I feel like the media, more than even the political opponents, and I know there's been rhetoric from certain political opponents, but the media itself has played a large role in framing and characterizing both sides of the aisle as being, the enemy.
Fascists. What strong,
I know.
almost really strong
Well,
words. those-
and people talk about, we're on the brink, they're talking about this vote being a, this will destroy democracy type, rhetoric. That rhetoric is what led us to this moment. Not these candidates did not bring us to this moment. The social
years
media,
before-
the news media, I feel brought us to this moment with their
But the
constant.
terrifying thing, Greg, is you watch the reports immediately after it. MSNBC. And I joked about it, but CNN, they really did go. He fell and had to be taken off by security. MSNBC, that there was a loud noise and he was taken away. Just unbelievable how the derangement syndrome that they can't. They're over the last couple of weeks, the mainstream media in the US have had to eat so much humble pie. They've been
Yeah.
covering Joe for years. They had that big debate, and all of a sudden the curtain was pulled back, and they've gone, oh, we didn't know, but of course you knew. And then this here as well. I can just imagine Joy Behar and all the ones on The View, wishing him all the best. And you watch social media today; it's disgusting. It's disgusting with people going, "Oh, I wish he was dead," or "Why did they miss?" and all of that. And that's coming not only from weird little TikTokers, but it was coming from Democratic representatives.
Yeah.
Lawmakers
Look, I
tweet
will just say this:
deleted them and just crazy.
if you're
Crazy.
cheering for a candidate to be assassinated, get out of this country. First of all, this is not your home anymore. That is nonsense.
So even if you don't like Trump, you gotta say that man is not in it for the money. He is not in it for anything else apart from the country. Because why the hell should that fella go through what he's went through over the last couple of years, and now a chance on his life? You gotta give him
Well,
plus
I mean,
to
it's going to
do.
be interesting to see, obviously the forthcoming months. This, no pun intended, but this is the bullet that likely is going to propel him into the White House again, because the support for him is going to be astronomical on the heels of this. He will
Yeah,
get a
well,
bump in
Well,
the.
I just hope this doesn't embolden people to go, oh, there's a chance. The
Yeah.
Department of Justice have given him a pretty weak team with newbie guards.
Well, yeah, and so that's the other aspect to this that we can talk about real quickly is this: the Secret Service failed in a major way with the security at this location. Apparently, the building that this guy was crawling up onto, some bystanders saw him crawling up
reported.
onto the building and reported it to the local police, and they were trying to signal the Secret Service, who were watching them, because I guess they were on another rooftop or somewhere where the Secret Service were looking at them, and they were trying to point, like, look that way, and
Right.
of course they didn't. And by the time any policeman took notice of the situation, I heard another interview of a gentleman saying, we notified the police, and they finally were kind of like trying to understand what we were trying to tell them. The shooting started. I
And
will
the-
say
also
this.
The thing, Greg, is if some of those lawmakers had got their way, he wouldn't have Secret Service cover because
I
there is
know.
a bill in at the moment to try and get it removed for somebody who is a felon,
Right.
and they shouldn't have it. So it's just crazy how people are thinking about this
Yeah.
stuff. It's
It's a sad day.
point,
It's a sad
the
day in
point
our
representative-
politics.
the best country in the world, and with political representatives, that's what they are. They aren't Hitlers. They aren't. It's just Joe Biden and Trump. They may be, one's a corrupt lifetime politician guy who's been in it for the money, and all his family's got very rich off the back of it. Who changes his mind with the wind?
No,
And can't string a sentence together at the
I'm
moment.
just,
And
I'm just going to say this now. Look, we had 4 years of Trump. We've had
Uh-huh.
4 years of Biden. And honestly, I'm here. I'm fine. I wasn't put in any concentration camps. I didn't, am I better off, worse off? Yeah, it's degrees of separation. You could say, yeah, I'm slightly worse off. I'm slightly better off during those time frames, but I'm fine. All of us are fine. Their elections did not significantly damage our lives in any meaningful way that we should be wanting to seek violence on somebody else. And so this is the important thing that people need to understand. These elections, while it's important that the president is going to steward the country in a certain direction, it's going to be small shifts. It's not like when they get elected, things don't just change dramatically. And so I think this notion that we've created in our heads.
very, very quickly, come January, and that border will be closed tighter than a duck's arse.
Yeah, but
those things.
but again, people make it out to be like this is going to be a life-changing, potentially life-threatening change of leadership. We've gone through this leadership already. We've seen these leaders in their place. All of us are fine.
Because behind them is the civil service or the deep state or whatever we call it. And those guys are the guys that really run the country.
But again, yeah,
like,
the magnitude at which they actually change this country. And Kim, you've been in this country just as long as I have. I mean, you've seen presidents come and go.
Right.
Have you ever, for a moment, been like, "Oh my God, I'm in danger because anybody got elected"?
No.
And so
Never.
I think this is the misinformation that's being fed, and the media is largely to blame for this.
Yep.
About characterizing this as Hitler
sales.
taking over and
Right.
fascist states. And it's like, we lived 4 years of this. We already know it wasn't that case. So
Right.
to think it's going to be any different, it's ludicrous. People
I'm
need
glad.
to
I'm
take
glad
a
he's
breath.
okay. I'm glad he's okay.
I'm thrilled he's okay. In fact, he is going to be going to the Republican National Convention that starts tomorrow, which is
What a
kind of
guy.
insane. But anyway,
Anyway.
okay.
Yeah, I remember at the time of our lives, we will always remember.
Yeah.
So, anywho,
Boomer in the chat. Yes. Good points. We are going to be fine. That's just remember. Now,
Mhm.
let's talk about some more positive things. Robin, you were in
Silverstone. I
Yeah.
was. Did anybody know? Yeah. So I had to change plans. I was supposed to go out on the Friday, and I had stuff that I had to do, and sadly, I had to go out on Saturday. But that was fine. So off Joshua and I went on Saturday morning. It was as cold as a fucking March winter in the middle of England and Ireland. It was so cold. I actually bought a winter coat in the.
Wow.
Really?
I was in the McLaren Mercedes big shop thing. It could have been any shop. And
Right.
I got a coat of my size, a long coat. I took it to the till. Because I went in shorts because it was nice here. I went in shorts, and I was freezing my butt off, absolutely freezing my butt off on that first day. And I took the coat to the till, and I'm going to have this. How much? And she says, "Here's my card. It's £225, please."
Oof.
Ouch.
Well, I need the coat.
Maybe I won't freeze to death. Yeah.
So the Silverstone setup is just, I've been there before for a motorbike race with my father probably 15 years ago. But the Formula One, it's set up like a music festival, like a festival. There's so much to do at it. There's a massive, massive stage with top DJs and stars appearing on it through the day and at nighttime. There's so many food outlets and things to see and to do. And there's sim racing stuff. There was changing tires. There was cars. There was classic cars. There was everything. It was such a fantastic setup. So the first day we went round a lot of the various stands. We walked around different viewpoints, and then we went to our little hotel. We were exhausted because we left early. We got into the hotel about 8, had another bite to eat, and very, very expensive, by the way. I mean, fish and chips for lunchtime, it was £18 each.
Oof.
Like a carry-out sort of thing. Yeah. So the food-wise, on that first day, really expensive. Stayed in a crappy little hotel, but it was free. What the hell? And we got up very early the next morning. A whole pile of the McLaren team were staying in our hotel. Some of the minions there was 2 busloads of them left there in the morning. So off we went, and we went into our VIP car park on the second day. And all the plebs go one way, and all the VIPs go the other. And straight in, fantastic car parking spot. We went down in through, got our VIP badges, all the bits and pieces into this fantastic setup they had for us. Again, about 20 food trucks, everything from pizza to tacos to Vietnamese food to Indian to 2 or 3 coffee things, Southern fried chicken, all the food you could eat and want, all the drink you could drink, and all of just brilliant. Fantastic seats out of one of the fastest corners of the track. It was amazing. And
we do have a question. Boomer wants to know, how loud was it?
The main Formula One cars are loud. The older cars and some of the other classes, because there was Formula 1, Formula 2, and Formula 3. There was Porsche Cup cars, which are like your Porsche 911s, really, really fast.
That makes Boomer happy. Boomer is a Porsche fanatic, for the record.
Yeah, they were Porsche Cup cars. The racing in them, where it was just awesome. And then there was classic cars, like older Formula One cars with the screaming engines. That Formula One sound. They came out and done some laps. The weather on the second day was still atrocious, but we were nice and warm in our lovely big tent with heaters and all the bits and pieces, and we were very comfortable with clean toilets. The toilets were disgusting in the public area. The clean toilets, very important. And it was epic. I mean, it rained for 15 minutes and it was dry for 10, and rained for 15 minutes and it was dry for 10, and then the sun would come out and then it would rain again. And although that was horrible for all the little poor minions in the other stands, it was fantastic. It made the racing absolutely awesome. The Red Arrows, which are like, is it blue? You have the blue birds or the aerial display team?
The Red Arrows are they Canadian?
Blue Angels?
No, the Red Arrows.
No, they're very British.
Okay.
It's as British as Union Jack as the Red Arrows. So they've done this fantastic display. And the race that we went to, the Formula One race in itself, lots of Formula One races are as boring as hell.
Yeah.
Because the weather was so changeable. Wet tires, dry tires, wet tires. What tires should you be on? Whoa, the Formula One race was one of the classic races of the years. three Brits, top three spaces, and Max Verstappen swapping places for the first half of the race. It was awesome. And then Lewis Hamilton won the race. The first race he's won in since 2021, and he was in tears, and it was fantastic. It was great.
Now,
So that was brilliant.
What's,
So we got
what's
back
the
there.
guy the guy that's been like kind of winning all of them, Max something?
Max Verstappen.
Didn't he
Verstappen.
crash?
No,
No, then maybe that was a
No.
previous race. I heard
Yeah.
like he got tangled up with another.
it
Car.
was a race before.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a race before. So and he was chasing him right down. He was down to like he had an 8-second gap, and it was down to about 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds at the very end. So that was awesome. So race was over 6 o'clock or so, 6:15. I went and met Pilch Reed. He was there, and we walked on the track for a little bit. Pilch and his daughter.
Oh,
It was
okay.
lovely to see him. And then we were in our car at 6:15, and our flight was at 10. So we only had about 3/4 of an hour drive to the airport. No problem whatsoever. 2.5 hours later, we're in the car park trying to get out to Silverstone. Going, Joshua, it's like 8:15 here. If we don't get moving here within the next couple of minutes, we're screwed.
Right.
So we did get moving, and I'm going, well, the flight's leaves at 10, so we're going to be getting there at about 9:30. And Judith's on the phone going, 2 hours to get through security. And I'm going, this is not, can't be right. No, we'll have to risk it. This is Joshua. Tell you what we're going to do. Says, I paid for your car in the car park in Belfast, so here's my credit card. I'm going to drop you off at the airport entrance. I'm going to drop the hire car off. You run through and try and get on the plane. At least one of us can get home. I probably won't make it. I'll get a hotel and fly home this morning. You take my case, because so I don't have to pay for a rolly case as well then, and away we go. So we got to the airport at 25 to 10.
Okay.
I chucked him out of the car. He went running from the rental place down into the airport. I drove into the rental place. Car's fine. It's good. Where is sign? Look, it's great stuff. Like, let me go. Yes, I'm going late. Go on. Okay, sir. No problem. Come again. It was one of those. So I'm
running the
running
car rental place.
about half a mile to the entrance to the airport. I run through it. It's deserted like a zombie apocalypse. But of course, the security's at the other end of the airport. I'm running through going, get to the security. I'm the only person there. I throw everything into the plastic container. I get through, and you can see I'm in a panic. It goes through. The plastic container goes to the x-ray machine. It stops. And it's about to go in for the research, but it doesn't. It comes on through. I grab everything, and I'm running like mad through the duty free, which goes zigzag, like mad. 3/4 of the way through the duty free, I go, oh my God, my watch. I've left my watch in the container. I'm going, oh shit, what did I do? I go back to go. What the fuck was Jesus? Then this man comes running towards me. Like IKEA, there must be shortcuts that they don't have to go through zigzag. Right. He comes, sir, your watch. This is your watch. Great. I'm running. I look for the gate, find the gate, running the other end of the fucking airport. 5 to 10. I get there. Fucking Joshua's just going through the gate as the last person there, and I get on the plane.
Nice.
That was thrilling, I'll have to say.
Oh, it was crazy, man. Heart attack business. It was brilliant. And of course, on the plane beside us, there was other guys. I was sitting a guy that my father knew. He had been at Snetterton at a motorcycle road race with his grandson and some other guys. And they had won. They had these big trophies on the plane. And some other guys that had been in the Formula One, and they had hire cars. And we're chatting on the way over. I says, yeah, we parked at the outside car park and got the shuttle bus. And we've been here for an hour. Fuck! VIP, what? But it was a fabulous couple of days. It was really good. Would I pay the money for that VIP area? Parts of me says yes.
The toilets are the
toilets,
yeah.
the food, position, being warm, being dry. And parts go, jeepers. Oh, like $2,500 a ticket.
Oh, well, yeah. At that stage, then no.
No. So anyway, it was great. It was absolutely superb.
Excellent.
Had a ball.
All right.
Done.
Fantastic. Kim?
So I'll get all my stuff out of the way.
Get all your stuff out of the way.
Then it's been a crazy weekend, absolutely nutty busy. Just life is so crazy and unbelievable at the moment. Noodles, Nadia, our 15-year-old, she's away out with a couple of people from her local church. They've said they'll take her out to America for 3 weeks. So she's away to America for 3 weeks, first time in the States. And they're in the air now, I'm sure. So they're going to Washington and then traveling around and a whole pile of places.
Lovely time to be in America.
Absolutely. So that's her first. She's away. So I'm importing a Polish sleeper cell into America to see what she can do.
We can't make those jokes anymore.
No, not really.
Right?
And yeah, I've had one of the boys away in Port Rush, up around the coast for a few days, and just life is busy. The kids are already off school. It's the work in the house is about to start again. It's just nutballs. And on Friday, I got a beautiful email in from one of a company that I would love to work with, and
this is
I'm so
on
excited.
your day job.
I'm so excited, yeah, because
That's
it's
your
from the
day
head of the
job,
marketing
right?
department, and the main line is with senior stuff. We know what you do. We want to work with you.
Excellent.
So, yeah, that's this week. Anyway, there you go.
All right. Fantastic. Kim, I
Yes,
believe
well,
you've had a little bit of a makeover.
well, I didn't. My PlayStation 5 got a makeover, but I'm still me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not nearly as exciting as Robin this week.
By the way, sorry.
So, do
Excuse
what?
me. I have to go at 9:15. That's 20 minutes. We've been talking shit for ages. I'm about to say-
Gotcha. Okay. Alrighty. Well, as I was going, yeah, I gave my PS5 a makeover because I got tired of the white plates. I've never liked the white plates,
Right.
never, million years. Well, here in the last week, D-Brand, which is the same place I got my skin for my Steam Deck and my phone and all that, they had a deal where their dark plates were half off, I think, or 40% off or something like that. So for $60, I got a set of plates, which they're the smoke black. And I got a skin to go in the middle of it. I can't remember what it's called, but it looks rather nice.
It's like fire,
It's orange and
basically.
blue and
It looked like fire.
yeah, kind of.
All right.
And yeah, so I sat down one afternoon and did that. And believe it or not, those damn plates were easier to put on than the PlayStation plates that were a pain in the ass to get off and put back on. So, but they're nice. They don't have the weird like overhangs. The PlayStation plates had the weird little corners. One was a little longer than the other, and yada yada yada. We don't have any of that. Both sides have an outlet for the fans, so
Okay.
air can go in and all that. And like I said, they're not white; they're black. So thankfully that'll hide a lot of the dirt. I mean, I'm not bad about dusting my console, but you know how they're. I have a house full of cats, and I live next
See,
to a
okay, so
highway.
here's my question. Does black
Okay.
hide the dirt or does it actually accentuate the dirt? Because
Well, it
my
hides-
take on white usually helps hide dirt better than black.
Not in my house, apparently, because mine, even though I try to, keep them wiped down and everything, but like I said, I have a house full of cats and I live next to a highway. So with, traffic dust and all that sort of thing, mine always seems like it always gets dusty quicker, but the black seems like it kind of hides it a little better. So I don't know, because my Xbox never looks nearly as bad as my PlayStation with white plates. So
Okay. All right.
I don't know. To each his own. But anyway, like I said, they were on sale. I got it for all for like $60. They even had the little strips so you can change the color of the lights. And I thought maybe those would be hard to put on, so I didn't get those. But then after watching a video, it looks really easy. So maybe sometime down the road, I might even get those to put on it. But right now, with the orange sticker on it, the orange lights on the PlayStation actually kind of look like they match. So it's good by me. But anyway, I did that, $60. I'm happy with it. It blends in a little better than the big white plates and all that. So I'm happy.
Sorry, I'm watching Robin throwing things around.
Gotcha. Alrighty. And then while I was buying things for myself, because why the hell not, I got a dock for my Steam Deck.
Ah,
And
yes.
I got the, what is it? After reading like a couple articles, I could have got the Steam dock for the Steam Deck.
Right.
But again, I have a D brand grip on mine, and apparently in order for that thing to fit in the dock, you'd have to take that thing off all the time. Well, I've also got a skin on it. You know what that's like when you take the grip off and then the skin starts to peel up because you're taking the grip off all the time. I didn't want to do that. I'm lazy. Sue me. But anyway, after reading some articles, there's the Basis Gamer X, which is what I got, and it's adjustable. so that even if you've got a grip on your Steam Deck, it will fit in it. It's got the Ethernet ports, it's got HDMI ports, it's got, of course, the port for like a USB-C port so you can plug in like a charger. Because I haven't tried it out, but supposedly you're supposed to be able to charge your Steam Deck while it's on it, yada, yada, yada. And basically what I got this for is so I can hook my Steam Deck up to my TV. So if I want to play like Space Marines on my big TV, because let's face it, I'm old, I wear glasses.
Right.
Sometimes you just want to play on the big TV. And it's basically a mini PC, so it's going to run better than my laptop. So let's connect it to my TV. You know, kind of like you would the Switch. So I don't know. I don't know if it'll work with the Switch either. I haven't actually tried, but
You're so
anyway. We'll figure it
technical.
out. Yeah, right?
So I'm assuming with the dock, then you're basically going to run like a USB-C wire from your Steam Deck into the dock, and the dock is then
Mhm.
connected to the TV.
Well, but yeah, and then they've got this little thing here that connects to your Steam Deck.
That okay? So,
then-
I'm just going to throw this out there, Kim. And,
Right.
And just, this is a helpful thing.
Alrighty.
A loose HDMI lead.
Yeah, you're going to need a longer HDMI lead there, or something longer, because
Oh, you
otherwise
could-
you're going to be like right up on your TV.
Well, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know. Yes,
Okay.
I get that. Because the way my setup is in my room anyway, I've already got the HDMI cables and all that stuff run. All I really need to do is unhook one, like from, say, the back of my Xbox or something like that, connect it to this, and away
I know,
we
but
go.
when you're
'Cause
playing from the TV that's on your ceiling.
it's not
that's-
on my ceiling.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I have it in a...
No, but you
Set
can
a
use an
shelf.
Xbox controller, can you not?
Yes, I can connect it. Yeah, I can use my like Elite controller connected to the Steam Deck.
I'm really curious to see how it all connects up, because I think that
Oh,
could be
I will let you know.
a
when
way
I-
for me to actually use my Steam Deck a little more often.
Right. Well, and that's what I was looking at. Because, I mean, I'd use it sitting on the couch at night watching TV, playing, you know, but
Right.
like I said, my eyes aren't as great as they used to be, although they probably were never that good to begin with. But it would be nice every once in a while to be able to use my Xbox controller and play Space Marines or something that I don't have on the Xbox on the big TV when I don't want to stare at a tiny screen. So that's what I was kind of looking at. And yes, there is the Steam Link thing, but that can kind of be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So
My Steam Link has been retired to a box. I'm debating
Right.
whether I try and get rid of it or I just keep it in the box. Probably just keep it in the box.
there you go. Well, I have to use mine because of Tony and American Truck Simulator and his wheels and all that shit. So I'm keeping mine for that. But I didn't really want to use it on my thing. Plus, it's in the living room and Dad wants to watch TV and I want to play, you know, this. So this works for me.
It's been
Yes.
2 weeks.
Yes.
Has anything died?
Well, okay. I need to ask for some clarification. We just mean cats, right? Because I have been still taking out raccoons so they don't kill my kittens. So cats, yes, are still alive. And that brings me to the next story. One-Eyed Willie, who's technically not one-eyed anymore. But anyway, we had a little orange fuzzy kitten, one of the ones that I'm trying to keep from becoming raccoon food. He had a really bad eye cold here a while back. And no matter what I managed to do, the others would clear up, but his didn't. And one day I was cleaning it and it matted shut. Well, I managed to get it open, and when it did, a whole bunch of fluid and blood came out. So I was worried the little fart had lost an eye. Well, he wasn't named yet. So me being me, thought it'd be funny to call him One-Eyed Willie. So when I was taking him to the vet yesterday, they were doing the paperwork, and they're like, "Well, what's his name?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know." And she said, "Well, what's that mean?" She said, "I said it. Well, it depends on how this vet visit turns out." And she, of course, she looks at me like I'm losing my mind. And I said, "Well, if he loses an eye, it'll be One-Eyed Willie. But if he doesn't lose an eye, I guess it'll be something else, or maybe we'll just call him Willie."
I was just gonna say Willie
So-
seems like the standard there, and then it's
Right. So anyway, he went through his vet visit. The vet asked me how many kittens I was actually taking care of. I said, "Well, counting this little fuzzbutt, I said I've got 9 altogether." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know. There was more than that,
Did,
but
you,
my
did you tell
raccoons
them
have-
all about all the cats or just the 9?
they're my vet for years now, so
Okay.
they know the story. They're good with me. I keep them in business. They don't give a shit. Anyway, so he's like, "All right, well, you've got 9 plus this one," because he also had the sniffles, the runny nose, the whole 9 yards. So he sent me home with a big enough, bottle of antibiotics I could treat them all. But anyway, long story short, Willie will be fine. Willie has both eyes. It's fine. We'll just have to put some medicine in it and give him the antibiotics. And in 2 weeks, he should be fine. So
2-eyed Willie it is.
2-eyed Willie it is. So yeah, it's so anyway, so no cats have died, but we did take out another raccoon. So
Oh.
2 weeks.
I-
something. She didn't kill anything.
Well, to be fair, I didn't kill any of the cats either. A lot of them died from either natural causes or the raccoons killed them. I did not kill them.
Kim,
So,
the warnings were given. Come on. You
but I still didn't kill them. I didn't put the coon in the cat house to do
you
it.
might as well have, Kim. You might as well have.
Right. So anyway, so things are good on that end. Although my sister is working on me really hard since we just lost Cheetah. She's like, Willie ought to be a house cat. I'm like, oh, for God's sake, here we go. So, yeah. So anyway, who knows? I said if he'd had to have surgery to have the eye removed, because that's like $400 and some. I said then it might have been a possibility because I live next to a road, and the last thing you want to do is spend $400 on an animal, have it venture out the highway and get run over. So maybe, but now it seems like he'll be fine. So,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
I guess
that's me.
I guess
What about
that,
you?
yeah,
Or was
that
that
leaves me. So okay, so what happened was hi Boomer. Really not much more to talk about. My mother-in-law is here for the weekend. So she and my wife are having lunch right now. They're going to go see a movie. I think I'm going to pass on that. I think I'm just going to take the time and then I'll have a little maybe game time, whatever, catch up on news, because, I mean, that's a thing. But I do have a recommendation. If you like NFL football, Netflix just came out with a new series called Receivers. So this is the follow-up to the quarterback series.
Right.
And so they follow 5 receivers. It's now I got to remember them: Deebo Samuel, Justin Jefferson, Amon St. Brown, Devontae Adams, and then George Kittle. And so 2 49ers. What's interesting is George Kittle. I love the guy. He is my favorite by far of current NFL players. He's just a character. And the fact that in one of the episodes he's wearing a Halo shirt, that's actually a pretty badass Halo shirt that I now need to go try and track down and buy, just emboldened me more to being like he's one of my favorites. But anyway, it's a fantastic series. So just like quarterbacks, you're following them through their personal life, kind of understanding what they go through with regards to injuries, with regards to just game days, but also their personal life with their spouses or their significant others.
That's just a thing.
Yeah. And so it's just a really well done series. And I'm 5 episodes in on it now and just absolutely enjoying it. I also still highly recommend watch Lioness. If you haven't watched Lioness yet, get it on your watch list. I guarantee you're going to binge watch the whole thing. You could do it in pretty much a day if you have the full day to watch. I know, Robin, I know. but it is so good. Anyway. And that's it. That's it for my story time.
Wow. That was a story time.
Yeah.
That was.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Shall we play a game?
Shall we?
I want to play a game.
You are one pathetic loser.
Do you know what I did, Greg?
Uh-oh.
Robin, I'm looking on here and I'm going to dictate what game I want you to talk about first, Robin.
Okay, because my time is short. So
Yes.
okay, you fire on.
I want you to start with Bluey.
Okay, so the reason. The story is. This is my now place of work once again, and over there, the sim behind this wall is that and then over there is where all the Xbox stuff is and all. And what I did is I thought, you know what? There are times when Judith is out, or I'm sitting here and I'm just flicking through YouTube. I would like to play a game, so I took the Xbox Series X from under there and went and connected it up to the big TV. And I went, oh my goodness, there are some updates here. So
sure.
Yeah, this looks all a bit different. So I had a quick flick through Game Pass and went, oh, Bluey. Okay, well, Jasmine loves Bluey.
All right.
So and her motor control in her hands isn't great. So if she can get her head around how to use a controller, that will be good for her motor skills.
Absolutely.
Right.
So we played a little bit today, literally for 5 minutes, and then she got frustrated with the controller. But we'll keep at it. And Bluey is It's Bluey. It's a Bluey cartoon.
I absolutely love the cartoon Bluey. We watch it
Yeah,
all the
it's
time.
awesome.
So, yeah.
Wholesome, real stuff. I approve of Bluey.
Yes.
And the next game that I played was Forza Motorsport. The first time I've stayed away from it.
Wow. Okay.
I played it on a controller, and I couldn't go back to that again.
Yeah.
I'll maybe go back lightly, but it's a arcadey mess. I don't know, some of the streamer guys that I watch, they play a lot, but they play it for the audience, and I don't get it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, I also think at this stage for racing games for you, you need your setup. I mean, that's where you enjoy racing. So to play a racing game on a controller, probably at this stage has to feel just like you're taking steps backwards.
Yeah. So, and then the final game that I played, and I put a couple of hours into this, Starfield.
Ah.
Ooh. And I suppose there's been lots of updates. I remember you saying something about a map.
Quite a few updates.
It's a very frustrating game. It doesn't hold your hand a lot. There's not a lot of tutorials. I had to. So the first mission, I don't even know. You go to this planet. Well, you find this artifact and you have a crazy dream, and then you disappear off to this planet, and you have to take out some guy. But I was walking everywhere about this place, coughing, because it was a bad planet and it was making me ill. But there was these little things on the map, and you can set a waypoint, but it's very, very hard to see on the little circly map thing where the waypoint is. And I went to a lot of these places, and I found some woman taking photographs beside a lava pit. What? Is that it? And I said one thing to her, and then she wouldn't say anything more to me. I found a sick man in a cave. And then I found these guys that have crashed, and they wanted to find me parts of their ship, but I couldn't find any parts to the ship. And then I triggered something, and then the baddies came, and this robot guy's beside me, and I shoot some baddies. I pick up everything because I don't know, man. Why on earth did they? It's a stapler. It's a mug. Why did they spend so much time in? You open all the cupboards, and do I have 3 guns, or is it 1 gun? Is it 3 beside it? How many of these have I picked up? I don't know all this stuff. But anyway, I finished that, and then I jumped to the next system, which I had to Google to work out how to jump to the next system. You have to move resources around in your ship to make the jump drive work.
You have to allocate energy to your jump drive. Yep.
And then I've landed in this Mass Effect city. The train took me somewhere, but then I ended up walking into this library place where these people started talking to me, and that's where I am.
Okay. That sounds about right. That's Starfield in a nutshell. Now, this is either going to anger you or it'll. Actually, it's probably not going to help. With all the updates, it's so much better.
God,
the map when you are on a planet, especially like the city you're in now, the map of that actual city, it's much easier to find where you need to go, as opposed to in the previous iteration there was no map. You literally could not figure out where the hell to go. So,
and it looks like an expansive, beautiful looking game. Even when you're moving around the map, the controls seem to work in such a weird way. It's up and down and left and right. Moving around the map is a very weird control scheme. So I don't know. I mean, is there a good story to it? Is it?
So I mean, I have been playing Starfield as well. I have. So there's a bunch of side quest stories along the main storyline. To me, isn't terribly compelling. It's you're trying to find all the different components of this artifact to basically make the Halo ring, if you will. And once you complete the artifact, then something grandiose is supposed to happen. I don't know what that is. I haven't gotten there yet. I went on to a side mission of basically trying to track down. I joined the Freestar Collective Alliance, which basically is like space cops. And I ended up getting a side quest of trying to help out this farmer who these pirates came and tried to force her off her land. And I'm trying to solve the mystery of why they're trying to do this. And it's taken me in all different directions. I've also run into the fact that I have kind of made it's funny. The game allows like you can do things that will create bounties on your head. And
Okay.
once you start getting a bounty on your head, it makes it very difficult or challenging. Like in my spaceship, I'm flying around and pirates are coming after me because I had a bounty on my head with the pirate clan. Even though I technically am part of the pirate clan because I killed some pirates at one point, the bounty put on my head. But you can find kiosks to pay off your bounty. And so I paid off my bounty, which cleared the pirates from trying to kill me. But there were a couple frustrating moments where I jumped into a system and immediately was getting attacked by 5 or 6 different ships. And I just couldn't. I kept dying. So what I ended up doing is I jumped into that system because it was right at a save point. And then I immediately had to jump out of the system and find someplace else to go. And the place I went next, a pirate ship jumped in again on me. And what I ended up realizing is I had to jump to a UC controlled territory planet as opposed to I kept going to all the different planets where the
So
pirates
there's
were
a
still at.
big game here.
It is a
that
very
I
big
made.
game. It is a very big game.
Yeah. I want to play Diablo, the new Diablo. I never played it, so I
Oh,
missed
it's
out.
that is a highly recommend. Fantastic story.
Yes.
And it's the sort of thing you can. Diablo is the sort of game from before you can pick up and play for a half an hour.
Still
and a
is.
night.
Very much
Yep.
still is. And some of the best visual cutscenes out there. So
So I'm gaming. So I've got a gaming machine in there again, and I'm going to game.
Yay!
But right now, I have to go.
yes, I
I
know.
have to go.
You
into
have to
Jasmine
go.
and other stuff. So I'm sorry, but
That's
that was a
okay.
really interesting conversation at the beginning,
Well,
and
important things had to be discussed.
I
That's
have to
okay.
go and make racing great again.
Good luck.
That's next
All right,
time.
Robin.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Doodles.
Now this is going to jack up our cameras, Kim.
Right? Yep. Here we go.
so,
I'm
yeah.
gonna become Greg or Robin
Yeah,
or
I
something.
know.
and-
So give me a second while I work on cameras, Kim.
okay.
Why don't we shout out Boomer? I know he's in the chat.
Yeah,
Give him
Boomer's in the
some
chat.
love.
Yeah, well, Yeah, Boomer's in the chat. So far he's the only one in the chat, but that's okay. He's been keeping the chat going, so we appreciate that. So Thanks, Boomer.
As we're talking, I'm literally changing the cameras. Really, I just
gotcha.
got to fix
Oh,
yours. That's
yeah,
the-
pretty much. I'm the only one. Yeah, I'm because now I'm me and Boomer or Bongo. So it's
you
a
know.
little odd. Yeah. It could be worse. I mean,
It definitely could be worse.
so much worse.
This is the live stuff. People don't appreciate.
Right?
Look at that, Kim. All fixed.
Yay!
Sort of. Hang on, let me. My OCD will not let me have that
Okay.
there. Okay,
Okay.
cool. Lock you
Yay.
down.
Woohoo!
And then we'll talk about Robin and what, his fascist, Hitler-esque. Yeah. Now, anyway, Kim,
Yes.
we played some multiplayer on Wednesday
We
night.
did. We did. Speaking
In
of
fact,
being Boomer as well.
We played with Boomer. Yeah.
We did because he's playing hooky from work, and I will, not believe otherwise.
But it was a good time. We actually did quite well after some rough starts.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not used to playing as people. I'm used to, other than you guys, I'm used to usually playing against bots. Although those fucking bots are hard too. So
The bots could be challenging. I have
yeah.
to say I enjoyed my time playing with both of you because, and again, don't take this wrong, but I feel like you guys brought in a lower level of player in terms of like the game match makes.
right.
And so,
Well,
you know.
I agree with that because
So the fact that I got a 26 kill game in and then a 25 kill game in, even though we lost that one,
right.
that was quite pleasant.
Yeah, it was fun. We'll have to do it again sometime. So
Yeah. And I think at this point, all we really have to hope for is for England to lose because
Right.
that's what's keeping everybody from playing games these days, apparently, or showing up for podcasts. Mark.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
Slackers.
Halo. It's fun
It is
Yeah.
fun with the right people. Yeah.
with the right people. You and Boomer pass the test. And yes, I will play Call of Duty with you guys at some point. I promise.
Woohoo!
I'm not dressing up like a cat, though. Can't do that.
That's okay. That's not required. So that's just for me. So.
All right. Well, Boomer, since you're in the chat, you get to
Mm-hmm.
play along now because we're gonna do a quiz. I can't even play this quiz sound effect because my sound effects are all jacked up. So.
Can I do my games played or?
Oh no, you're not allowed to, Kim. I'm sorry. Yes, you may.
I actually
sorry.
have more than COD
I
and Halo.
I'm very distracted right now.
I
Life is
noticed.
challenging. We've got assassination attempts, raccoons getting
know,
killed.
right? Thank God. Yeah, I noticed, but you're used to me saying, well, I played COD because, well, that's usually all I do. But I actually got to play more games this week, believe it or not. Actually, yesterday, I played some more Broforce, which is still hilarious. The names they come up with people. Like I unlocked Indiana Jones yesterday, but he is actually called Indiana Brones because we got a bro in the name somewhere.
Right, Broforce. I do like the name Broforce though. It just sounds fun.
It reminds me of like the old school arcade games. That's a lot of what it reminds me of. I also unlocked Ash Williams, who is Ash Broliums, which is hard to actually say, but bro is in there. So yeah, it's fun. It's side scroller, beat 'em up, shoot 'em sort of thing. I have one guy, and I don't know who he is for sure, so I'm gonna have to look it up. But there's one guy in there that he has dynamite shoved in like a turkey or a chicken or something, and that's his thing. But I don't know who that's supposed to be yet, because there's like Chuck Norris and Sylvester Stallone and Bruce Willis, all the action guys that we all know. But I don't know who this guy is that's supposed to be with the chicken with the dynamite. I don't know who that is yet, so I'll have to figure it out. But anyway, Broforce, it's fun. It's really cheap. It's by Devolver Digital. I think I got it for like $12 or less. So, and I think it's still on Game Pass, maybe. So there's that. Also on Game Pass is Spirit of the North, which I also played. Basically all it is something is up with the environment. You're a fox, you unlock a guardian or something of the earth, which is I guess where the Spirit of the North comes in. Anyway, you follow this thing along and find, well, I guess they're dead wizards or shamans or something. And anyway, you're supposed to be figuring out what is wrong with the environment. I don't know. It's more, I don't know. It reminds me a little bit of like Arise, A Simple Story, that sort of thing, where there's not a whole lot of like violence or, whatever. You just kind of follow along with the story to see where it goes. Okay. It's on Game Pass as well. I'll probably keep it up because one, it'll probably be easy achievement. And the story's not bad. So you kind of need one of those games every once in a while where you're not constantly getting killed by something, I guess. So maybe this is it for me. Plus you play a fox. So I guess that's the one for me. I don't know. Don't get choked up about it. It's not that exciting.
I'm emotional right now.
I could tell. And then last but not least, this one was also on Game Pass, but it just went off and I missed it. And I don't know why. I don't know. So many games, so little time, I guess. But it's called Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch.
I remember this.
Yes, you play as Ray. He's a rabbit. I know, go figure. And he's got a big, like, mechanical fist on his back. And basically what the deal is, you live in this place called Torch City, and it's being overtaken by robots. And apparently these are evil robots. So
most robots are evil. Let's just face it.
And your buddy is a bear, and his name is Ursa. Boy, that's cute, isn't it? Anyway, he gets taken prisoner by these robots because apparently he's formed a little underground group where they're going to try to overthrow the robots. So you go, and after deciding years ago you were going to hang up your fist, I know, laugh, it's funny. It is kind of. You decide you're going to break your buddy out of prison with this gigantic fist and overthrow the robots. It's a Metroidvania sort of game.
Okay.
Which, yeah. And it's not terrible. And I like it. I played the demo on Steam the other day because I noticed it was on Steam after it went off Game Pass. And I think I picked it up for like $8 because I decided after I played the demo, I liked it well enough. And like I said, it's a Metroidvania, so it's very much like Ori and the Blind Forest, that sort of thing. So if you're like those games, this is probably for Alley.
I struggle with those games. I don't know why. The whole like doubling back to like unlock doors because you finally get a key for this, that just drives me crazy.
It does me a little bit too. So I don't know. Some though are worse than others.
This is true.
So anyway, I don't know. I like it so far. Like I said, there's a demo on Steam, so if you want to try it out, it does work with the Steam Deck. I can't remember if it says verified or not, but I played it on my Steam Deck and it works just fine. Yeah. So yeah, and I picked it up on CD Keys, like I said, for like $8.
I do find that some games that they're not yet Steam verified, they still will run
Right.
I think the ultimately, I don't know how many they're back checking. I
Right.
think for the most part, Steam is only looking at new games now, so they're not really worried about older games. So something to think about when you're trying to look at possible games for your Steam Deck.
Right, and that was something else. And you guys told me the same thing when I started. So just because it says it's not verified doesn't mean it won't work. So anymore, I just go into it, I try it, see if I can do anything with it. If not, well then okay, I tried and went on. Plus, there's a lot of community workarounds now that they've come up with ways to get the controller part of it to work, and you can download or not maybe download their little schematics or whatever, but you can usually get it to work. So yeah. But anyway, that's what I played. So I did play a little multiplayer because I had to finish off the what they call it, the 8-bit map, I guess they had on there. But other than that, that's about it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Now, Kim, can we move on to the quiz?
We can.
All right, because you got a quiz.
Woo!
All right, Boomer, we expect you to play along just because you're there.
Right.
All right. So this time, Kim, I'm not worried about you trying to find out. I am fully in charge here. 3 games. 3 games that you have to think back.
Right.
Get your mind right. Deep
you live for
breaths.
that.
Exhale. You're now back in 2021. Not that far back.
No.
2021.
I was younger then.
You were younger than Kim. Embrace that inner youngness. And here we go. So 3 games released out during that time.
Okay.
One was kind of a quote-unquote re-release, if you will.
All right.
Death Stranding Director's Cut for PC came out that year. Kim, what do you think that got for a Metacritic score?
I'm trying to remember if it went well or it didn't, but that
Boomer, get your hands off the keyboard. No cheating.
Because I know the original, or what do you want to call it, it did really well. So,
did it though?
Well, I don't know. To me, it didn't seem like, because they always seem strange.
My goal here is to create doubt in your mind, regardless of whichever direction you go. Maybe it did do well. Maybe it didn't do well.
Maybe it didn't. Yeah, because even though they threw Daryl Dixon in there, I'm just like, I still wouldn't want to play it. So, because it just looked like future UPS driver delivery thing. So, I'll give it a 88. Now that I've rambled.
All right.
And Boomer says 85.
I know. Boomer cheated, apparently, because it is 85. It is.
Wow.
85. I told Boomer no cheating, and yet what did he do? He cheated. We know.
He cheats.
You could say you didn't cheat, Boomer. We know. We know the truth. By the way, Daryl Dixon, honestly, outside of The Walking Dead.
Right. Yeah. You're not a big Boondocks Saints fan then?
No.
Oh.
All right. Kim, we're going to stay on the PC.
Okay.
Chivalry 2 released
Ooh.
on the PC that year. What do you think Chivalry 2 got? Again, Boomer, get your hands off the keyboard. No cheating. We see you. I see you right there. Yeah.
87.
87.
I remember people like those games, but I don't remember actually looking to see what the score was. I don't know.
Kim, it got an 82.
Oh, ouch.
Well, I mean, it's still a good score. It's not bad.
Yeah.
But
no.
Not as lofty as you had
right
put out there.
Well, yeah, because we did have a game that was like 47. So yeah, 82 is that's pretty good.
One last game, Kim. This might have graced your PS5 at the time. I don't remember if you bought a PS5 during 2021 or not. It was kind of the launch year-ish, if I remember correctly. But Deathloop was exclusive to the PS5 at the time.
Oh.
The Bethesda game.
Right.
This was that awkward moment of Bethesda was bought by Microsoft, and yet they still launched a PS5 exclusive.
Right.
We now know it was timed exclusive. But what did Deathloop for the PS5 get in 2021?
And I know people like this game. I have yet to play it because I don't know. It just, I don't know. Seems aggravating to me to, you die and then you have to start over and whatever. I'll give it a 90.
Giving it a 90. Kim, that was actually pretty close.
Okay.
88.
Ah.
So yeah, so Deathloop on the PS5, it was scored very well on the PS5, and then I'm
Yes.
pretty sure it had an Xbox tax when it came out, and it did not score nearly as
Probably.
high.
Of course.
But there you go. So 88 for Deathloop on PS5. Death Stranding Director's Cut for the PC got an 85. Its Chivalry 2 was an 82.
Oh, Chivalry is not dead.
No.
But
the quiz is dead for now. So
alrighty.
we're gonna move on. If I'm reading my teleprompter correctly, it says Greg is going to read some headlines.
Well, that's what it says, but
It is what it says. Well, one of the most important things. So it's a slow news week. However,
Right.
there was one big news story, and that is that Game Pass getting a price hike.
Yeah.
And also they're getting a new tier, which that seemed kind of weird.
Yeah, that
but
didn't really
let me see
make
if I
sense
can
to
track
me.
down the details on this.
Right.
So I'm waiting for my website to load. But in essence, it's about a $3 price hike for everything except for PC.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, Ultimate's going up $3. It's going from like $17 to $20. Womp
yeah.
womp.
So,
So
$3, I could live with that. I don't
right. Well, that's like I was telling you, because I'm seeing all the outrage, and I mean, there's people that are saying once their Ultimate or whatever's up, they're canceling it, or whatever, they're not resubscribing, what have you. And all I can think is, you know what? I have a fixed income. For the amount of enjoyment that I get, and the fact that Call of Duty is coming, and there's other day one games coming, that's $70 that's not coming out of my pocket.
Right.
I think I can live with this, $3 extra on the month. So, I don't know.
So I have it now. So there will be 3 tiers
Right.
moving forward, which is similar to what we had, but
Right.
different.
Right.
So Xbox Game Pass PC is going to remain unchanged.
Right.
But Game Pass Core, again, stays as it is. Select console games plus multiplayer. So it's interesting. They do have plus multiplayer within that for Game Pass Core now. It does include multiplayer, which it didn't before.
Mm-hmm.
But it does not have any day one games.
Right.
And it's only 25 high quality quote unquote games, right?
Right.
Xbox Game Pass Standard. That's the new tier they're created.
Right.
So that's going to fall in between Core and Ultimate. I want to say it's going to be $14.99 a month. So the price for it does not include multiplayer. And also does not include, I believe, day one games.
Right.
So day one games are only going to now come to Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
The Xbox Game Pass Standard will get, again, highly curated games on console, but there'll be hundreds of them. You just won't get the day one. And they said, well, when do we know they'll come to the service? And Microsoft said it'll be a case-by-case basis, but you can figure anywhere from 6 to 12 months is the window from when they would come into the standard tier off of the launch.
Right.
So it's an interesting move. I mean, I don't know that I care one way or the other just because I'm an Ultimate subscriber myself. And I'm
Right.
stacked. That's also probably the other big thing. Actually, let's get this one out of the way. This is all going to go into effect in September. September 12th, I believe, is the actual date. So between now and then, you can stack and update your subscription if you want. Once September 12th hits, you'll only be able to stack 13 months in advance.
Right.
So the days of getting these, 2-year deals in place are going to be gone.
Right.
So get it in while you can, I guess, is the theme here.
Right.
And I think this is a way of Microsoft basically getting more money out of the subscribers they have.
Right.
I think it speaks volumes to the console side of things and how it's going. It's probably not really growing. And so they're looking for ways to generate revenue. And this is kind of how they figure it. It's going to be squeeze a little bit more money out of the current subscribers and create a scenario where they can actually get back into selling the games when they launch on day and date because of the Game Pass standard group.
Right.
You know, I have a feeling they think those people will still probably buy Call of Duty for day one.
Right.
Or Game Pass Core people will buy it for day one.
Right.
And PC, this is, I think, the clear signal from Microsoft of this is where they see growth.
Yeah.
They think they can grow their base in PC. And again, I think that future Xbox, my prediction right now, I think you're going to be able to access your Steam library.
That'd be nice.
I think they're going to really create a console that is basically like the Steam Deck. It's going to be a PC with a console interface. And I'm excited for that. If that is
I'm totally on board with that. So yeah.
But yeah, so that was really the only big news that came out from this past week.
And I mean, like I said, the outrage over $3 was enough to just like, really? I mean, all right, I guess I don't get it. Like I said, I don't mind paying the extra $3. Also, I'm stacked up till at least February, so maybe there's that. But even still, I don't mind, for the amount of entertainment I get. And like I said, like you stated, if that keeps me from having to buy 3 $70 games over the year, well, then the Game Pass is paid for itself. So, and I can spend my money in other ways for the Battle Pass.
I think the key for Game Pass to succeed, they have to have that library of day one content rolling, and they just haven't had that. So I think that's probably why it's stagnated.
Right.
But I can see in the coming years, if they truly are going to have the games that they have shown in that showcase actually launching in the years, getting 3 to 4 quality good titles, you're going to see that subscription base start to move again.
Right.
Let's see. The Amazon Fire Stick, I think we covered this last week, but I could be wrong. But basically, new Amazon Fire Sticks are going to also have Xbox Game Pass. They'll be capable, and you'll be able to, I guess the app is going to be preloaded on them, and so you'll be able to play without a console. Again, I don't think Microsoft cares about hardware. They care about the ecosystem. They want you in the ecosystem. However way they can get you into it, they want you there. And that's why I truly think the next Xbox will also allow for PC gaming, because they want Steam users to be able to say, oh, I could play my Steam games there. I don't have to buy them through Xbox if I don't want to. However, it'll be there as an option. And right now, there's really no option outside of, I mean, they obviously have Xbox Game Pass PC.
Right.
But if they can create a scenario where Steam users can easily access the console games, that might become a game changer. A couple other little headlines here. Let's just walk through this real fast. The Olympics agree to a 12-year deal with Saudi Arabia for esports games. What could go wrong with that?
Wow.
Sony has opened up this weekend's Concord beta to all PS Plus members. Kim, did you play Concord?
I did not.
You can.
I'm not even sure I know what that is. I will have to look it up. I guess I did just finally turn my PlayStation back on after being off for a while because of a power outage. So, it is good to go now. So there's that.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
The First Descendant dev promises to make changes after Destiny 2 plagiarism accusations surfaced. So it sounds like they might have been riffing off of Destiny 2 a little too much.
Boomer did say that it was a lot like Destiny, because I asked him about it because he played a little bit of it, and I said, well, it's as grindy as Destiny, because that's the one thing about Destiny that turned me off, is because you had to have so much of certain resources and you had to go everywhere to find it, and after a while that shit just got old. And he said, yeah, there's a lot of that in the First Descendant too. So I haven't even fired it up. So
okay. And then the biggest news headline of the week by far, Frontier has announced Planet Coaster 2, the sequel to the 2016 theme park game, will be coming this autumn 2024.
Woo!
It'll come to everything basically under the sun except for Switch. So
makes sense. cool.
There you go. That's it. That's the news. There wasn't a lot outside of the
Well,
Xbox
it's-
news.
Yeah, well,
And
it's
of course,
summertime, so
Trying to assassinate presidential candidates, but
right.
All right, Kim, we've got some new releases. Let's talk about those.
We do, and believe it or not, being in the middle of summer, there are quite a few. I was kind of surprised at the amount of new releases we have this week. So, without further ado, your new releases from July 14th to July 21st, hint, hint, is Dungeon 2 for the PS5, PS4, Series X and S, and the Switch on the 15th. Supernatural for the PC on July 15th. Aerial Knights We Never Yield for the PS5, PS4, X and S, Xbox One, and PC on the 16th. Deliver Us the Moon for the Switch on July 16th. Evil v Evil for the PS5, Xbox X and S, and PC on the 16th. Flock, which is also going to be available on Game Pass for the PS5, PS4, X and S, the Xbox One, and PC, July 16th. Let's School. I don't know what this one is, but that's the title, so whatever. Let's School for the PS5, PS4, X and S, Xbox One, and Switch, July 16th.
I mean, talk about a title that no kid wants to see.
And it's funny because now I'm hearing advertisements for back to school shopping already. I'm like, the 4th of July just got over, and now we're doing this. So I don't know what Let's School is, but I'm sure no child will play it this summer. Anyway, Magical Delicacy, which is also going to be available on Game Pass, I believe, for the Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC, July 16th.
That's Robin's nickname, by the way.
That's what his OnlyFans is called. Anyway, Nobody Wants to Die for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, July 17th. Well, I'm sure no one wants to die. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Splintered Fate for the Switch on July 17th. Bo, I assume. Bo, Path of the Teal Lotus for the PS5, X and S, Switch, and PC, July 18th. Dungeons of Hinterberg, also on Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S, PC, July 18th. And one I'm looking forward to this week, Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, also on Game Pass. I feel like I'm on the E3 again or something. World premiere! Anyway, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox X and S, Xbox One, and PC, July 18th. Nintendo World Championships, NES Edition for the Switch, July 18th. Shem, because Shem sounds weird. Anyway, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, July 18th. EA Sports College Football 25.
A lot of people
for the
excited for this
PS5.
one.
I imagine. Not one of them, but that's okay. I'm sure Anthony would be if it come out on the Game Pass and he could play it. So, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, July 19th. And another one that I believe is coming to Game Pass, I think. And that is, oh God, I'm going to bungle this terribly. Kunitsugami for the Path of the Goddess. Thank you. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on July 19th. And those are your new releases.
Well, there
you
we
go. Like I said, big list.
It's quite the list.
It is.
Flintlock definitely is one that I'm also excited to check out. EA Sports College Football, by the way, Anthony can play 10 hours with the trial through EA Play, which is on Game Pass Ultimate.
Well, then he'll be happy because he has all that. So.
And then Magical.
And he'll be back
Delicacy.
Friday.
I mean, that's the thing that I'm just very curious. Magical Delicacy.
Right. Is that some sort of cooking thing or something else entirely?
I would think so.
But hope. Anyway.
All right. That's gonna bring us to the end of the show. Boomer, thanks for being here.
For sure.
I don't know if anybody else was in the chat or not.
Nope, just Boomer.
Quite probably our fault for starting 20 minutes late. Thank my computer for that.
Sorry, it happens.
What seemed like a simple update turned into a nightmare.
Well, you're talking to somebody who had a bad laptop like that. And you know how long it took me sometimes to boot up to start a show. So I understand. I get it.
What was killing me was, I had things set up. I was actually updating OBS.
Right.
And then suddenly everything just starts like running super slow.
Right.
I'm like, oh, great. I'm like, you know what? We've got just outside of 15 minutes. I'm like, let me just restart my computer.
Hey.
It'll be a fast start, but for the most part, it's all set up.
Right.
I restart
That's where they get you.
And then I notice Razer. excuse me, Razer update
Yeah.
for my mouse, and it's taking forever to update. And of course, it's like your computer may be affected during this time, and I'm like, no shit. So everything is running slow. Then Skype update tries to happen during the Razer update.
Yep.
And so I'm like, okay. I'm like watching these stupid lines, showing me progress, and they're just not moving. So finally it all got done. Excuse me. And then I log into Skype, and I'm like, you hear me reverberating. It's like I can hear my voice double times. And I'm like, okay. Had to change my mic settings. We finally got there, though. We got there. We got the show in. That's all that matters. Maybe it wasn't on time. That's okay. But
it wouldn't be the first time.
No, not the first time. Well, not the last time either. I can make that promise. But we are going to be playing Halo this Wednesday.
Awesome.
So come out.
I will try to be there.
Hang out.
So.
And you know what? I hope England loses just so we get everybody back to playing Wednesday night games. Yeah, I said it.
You're here.
Fatal Fridays. If Mark's feeling good and England isn't playing, he might show up. I don't know.
Right.
But yes, I'm calling you out, Mark. I love you. Get on the Discord. Leave us a question or two. I didn't check tonight, but I don't think we had any questions for the show.
No, we didn't have any questions. Nope. I looked.
Which is probably for the best because it was a crazy night. It's been a crazy couple of days.
It has.
So, Kim, why don't you start the shout outs?
Alrighty. As before, Boomer, thanks for stopping by the chat. Shout out to my nephews, Owen and Anthony. They're going to be coming home Friday. As a matter of fact, we're leaving early Friday to go to Kansas City to pick them up and bring them home. So I think they were ready to be home like a month ago, but it is. So we're going to be bringing them back. So yeah, everybody have a good week this week. Hopefully there's not any more. Well, there will be drama and there will be bullshit, but hopefully it's on a slightly smaller scale than what it's been this past weekend. And I will hand you over to Greg.
Yeah, definitely echoing that sentiment. I hope there's no more bullshit.
Right.
We know that life is full of bullshit, but people just take a breath. Touch the sky. Well, maybe not touch the sky.
Grass.
That might be touch. Yeah, touch the grass. Look at the sky. Touch the grass.
Right. Hug a cat.
But honestly, just self-reflect. If you're feeling that angry about something and you want to do harm to somebody else, just kill yourself.
Right.
That is my solution for everybody moving forward. If you're truly gonna harm other people, harm yourself first. Do us all a favor.
Right.
I don't mean to be mean-spirited about that, but honestly, your issues need to be your issues alone. You don't need to bring that into other people.
Right.
It saddens me that innocent people were hurt over what clearly is something that somebody who is mentally unstable decided to take some matters into their own hands, and it's just we've got to be better than this.
Right.
So that being said, Kim, with all of that positivity I just threw out there, have a great rest of your weekend.
Yeah.
Shout out to Boomer. Shout out to my mother-in-law. She's been enjoying her stay. We had a fantastic dinner last night. So there's positive things out in the world. Breathe those in. Take those in. That positive energy, and then live a good life. That's all. I don't know. I can't think of any more whimsical things to say at this point. So on that
I think you
note,
summed it up well.
Yeah.
So
we're just gonna say goodbye.
See ya.
That's it. Ta-ta. I don't even have closing music now. I'm gonna have to add it in post. So there you go. Right. We're gonna stop the stream.
Da, 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 da,
See ya.
Yeah. Bye.